How's it going, everyone? It is me, Stateside here, and we're going to be taking a look at our underrated 11. Obviously, last week we looked at our overrated 11. We had a lot of disagreements. We had a lot of agreements. Uh, More disagreements mentioned in the comments. Obviously, if you agree with me, please back me up in the comments. I would really appreciate it. But obviously, it is what it is. We're going to disagree on things, and I just want to clarify something before I get too far into this video. I'm basing this off of how I think the public perceives this person and my personal opinion of them. I may think a player's overrated, and you may think he's rated correctly. You may rate him just as much as somebody else does. You may think I may say someone's underrated. I don't think I may think that they're, not as respected by the media as they should be. You may see players that I underrate that you agree with. You may agree they're underrated. There may be players in the overrated video that you may think are underrated. Gabriel Jesus, obviously being a controversial one to a lot of people. Last week, one person in particular left a very long message, and I appreciate the comment. I read it all, and I, respectfully disagree with him. I think that he's great for Arsenal, yes, but I think people rate him way too highly. I don't think there was that much of a difference between him and certain players. I'm not going to get too far into it. You can go read the comment. You can go rewatch the video if you would like to. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get into this video, starting off with my underrated 11's goalkeeper. In goal, we're going to go with Jose Sa. Jose Sa, I believe, was 11 clean sheets, 2 penalty saves throughout the season, making 3 saves per game for Wolves. Very instrumental in keeping them up this season. Obviously, they were rock bottom at one point. I think that him finding his form in the later half of the season really is what kept them up and really kept them in the Premier League. They could have easily been one of those bottom 3 in the relegation zone come the end of the season if he did not, put up the numbers that he put up. Coming in my right back position, I went with Ben White. I think that he's kind of, just because he doesn't have the attacking output of other right backs, I think he goes underrated, but I think he does a lot for Arsenal, and, this is kind of contradictory to what I said for Gabriel Jesus. I think the thing is that I think a lot of Arsenal fans, from what I've seen as an Arsenal fan, a lot of people rate Jesus higher than he is, but a lot of people don't rate Ben White. They don't think he has the attacking output, but that's not his job. The attacking output from a fullback, Zinchenko does both enough for both fullbacks. He has that attacking output for both fullbacks to where they don't have to both get involved. And Ben White as well, getting into him, he plays a lot. He plays very well with Saka as well. Anyways, very good link up, gives Saka a lot of space, passes him into space a lot of time. If you see, a lot of times they're coming up the right here, or I guess this is on your all's left, so I'll try to mirror it. They're coming up the right together, and then Saka cuts towards the middle, and then he plays the pass as he's cutting in. So the ball's already on Saka's left foot, and he does an excellent job linking that up. He doesn't feel the need to overlap. He doesn't feel the need to do that because he's able to get kind of like a diagonal run from Saka and work with that. As for my center back position, first one is going to be Tarkowski of Everton. I think Pickford gets a lot of the plaudits, but I do think similar how I said Senesi gets the plaudits, but Neto deserves them. I think Pickford gets a lot of the plaudits deservedly. I think Pickford is a solid goalkeeper, but I do think Tarkowski deserves a shout for the role he plays in shoring up that defense of Everton. Coming in my other center back spot, we got Fabian Schär. I think Botman is of that center back duo. I think Botman gets a lot of the credit. Obviously, Dan Burn being a not very attacking left back, he gets a lot of help at that left back spot, but Fabian Schär does an unbelievable job on the ball. I think he's probably the better center back on the ball at Newcastle. I think if you compare him, obviously, to Dan Burn, I think he's better on the ball than Dan Burn is. The only defender that's better on the ball for Newcastle is obviously Kieran Trippier, because Kieran Trippier has been world-class since returning to Newcastle. He's been unbelievable. Moving along to our left back spot, though, we're going to move over to Brentford and go with Rico Henry. I think he's a top 6 left back in the league. I put Robertson up there. I put Zinchenko up there. I put Luke Shaw up there. Estupinan. I wouldn't put Perisic. I put Nathan Ake. I'd play Nathan Ake as a left back in this situation. I'd probably put Rico Henry at 6 or 7. I can't obviously think of another one off the top of my head. I'm not putting Chilwell's too injury prone, and Cucurella's not very good. So I probably put Brentford at 6, 7, 8. Rico Henry would. I think he's quality. I don't think he gets the respect that he deserves as a left back. I think he's very, very good. Could easily move into a Tottenham team that's, or he could move into not Chelsea so much, but I think he'd move into Tottenham just fine and replace Perisic. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to get to our midfield three. One of them, not really a midfielder, but we're going to count him as a midfielder. First of all, Pascal Gross of Brighton. I think he always has that unbelievable game against United. But other than that, people don't really talk about him. And I think that he deserves a little more credit for his abilities. I think he's very, very good. Just watching him in games, he seems to take a lot of control of the games. Obviously, he had a very good midfield with him in Alexis McAllister and even better, Moise Caicedo, who he may be losing both of those, and maybe he will end up being overrated by me because maybe without those two, maybe he's not as good next season. I could be completely wrong on this one, and that could be the case. But I do think he's a very, very good midfielder in the Premier League. I think he kind of gets a little bit under the radar because you have Caicedo and McAllister in that midfield with him who get a lot of the attention. As for the other midfielders, we're going to go with Jacob Ramsey and Michael Olise. Obviously, a lot more attacking-minded midfielders. I think Ramsey has done an excellent job, and so has Olise. I think Olise is, 11 assists this season, 12 assists maybe. Very, very good numbers on assists, and I think people don't realize how good he is. I think whoever buys him, whenever he gets bought, regardless of the contract, regardless of what happens, they're going to get him for under 40 million. I think whoever it is, I think he's going to go under the radar. He's going to get bought by a big club, and he's going to do a job. He's going to do an excellent job for that club. Moving into our front three now, I'm going to go on the left wing, and I'm going to go with Diego Jota. I think Jota goes very underrated in that Liverpool attack. Obviously, when he's healthy, it's better for Liverpool, but Darwin Núñez is in that team. I think he's probably better than Núñez, and Luis Diaz obviously gives a different dynamic than Jota does, but I think Jota is very, very good. I think centrally, I think he'll be a good Firmino replacement if they can get that left winger that's a Darwin Núñez. If they can move Núñez or Diaz as two different left wingers, I think Jota could do a good job connecting the play, similar to what Bobby Firmino did. Coming in on our right wing position, we're going to go with Jared Bowen. I think Bowen is very, very good, and he is very underrated in England's squad. I think he probably deserves more minutes. Obviously, it's hard to get past Bukayo Saka. Let's not lie. He is not going to start over Bukayo Saka. Just full stop right there. Not starting over Bukayo Saka. But I do think that he is very disrespected because he doesn't get those minutes for England. But it's hard to be better than the best right winger in the world right now, I would say. I think players that are ahead of him right now in world football, probably Mbappe and Haaland and De Bruyne, but I'm talking more like attacking options. Obviously, I think Bukayo Saka's top 10 player in the world right now, and I think that Jared Bowen goes under the radar because he's not better than a top 10 player in the world. But I do think if he goes to a Tottenham, if he goes play right wing for Tottenham, I think that he'll do a job there. I can't even think of, I guess Kulusevski's going to be playing on that right wing, but I do think Bowen could do a job at a team similar there. I think he could go to Villa and do a very good job. I can't think of who their right winger is right now, but maybe he sticks around at West Ham. Maybe he plays right wing in the Europa League next season. He does a great job there and gets maybe a move abroad to some other team in Europe. And finally, for my striker, we were just talking about Aston Villa, and I'm going to go with an Aston Villa player. Ollie Watkins, I think, is very good. Everybody talks about, the seasons that Harry Kane and Ivan Toney had, but nobody talks about how good of a season Ollie Watkins had for Aston Villa. Completely changed their season. Him and Danny Ings were competing, and Danny Ings gets sold, and now Ollie Watkins is able to kind of flourish and do an excellent, really build that team around him as the key striker. And, hats off to Unai Emery. He's done an excellent job with him. Definitely taking his game up a notch compared to how it was last season. Obviously, Ollie Watkins wasn't terrible last season. He still wasn't what the player that Aston Villa had bought, and that was the problem. And now Aston Villa are finally getting that player exactly what they need. Anyway, guys, that's it. All I have here. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like down below. Hit that subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 70 subscribers by the end of the month. I don't know if it's going to be possible. I'd like to hit it before I go on vacation and come back stronger than ever at 70 subscribers. I think we're currently at 61 at the time of me recording this. But again, let me know what you guys think in the video. Let me know some things you guys want to see. Obviously, the season's slowing down here in the summer. We've got the transfer window. I'm going to try to do some more videos involving that. On predictions, on signing rankings, on my thoughts maybe on signings, so on and so forth. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think again, and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It helps me out a ton. See ya.